evening. Dzrj810am, the voice of the Philippines, proudly brings you the Animal Chronicles with Ana Cabrera. Learn about animal welfare and how you can be an advocate. And now, here's your host, Ana Cabrera.
Good evening. Welcome to the new time slot of the Animal Chronicles. We're going to air 7 p.m. Starting today. And you hear Animal Chronicles every Monday. So next Monday at 7, it'll be an earlier time slot, which I hear is good because you're stuck in traffic and you have no choice. Good for me. You have no choice but to listen to me. And for those who are interested in updates from the Philippine Animal Welfare Society, the latest in animal welfare issues, then yes, this is your time slot. And our updates for this week, the Dzrj810am case, the puppy hanger guy, the one who hung a poor, helpless white puppy by its skin on a clothesline in Laguna, we have finally filed a criminal case against him. So we were able to track him down. Thank God for Facebook. People are easily trackable. And they're sort of foolish because they commit a crime and they will announce it on Facebook, which only makes it easier for us and law enforcers to track them down. So we have filed a criminal case, a violation of Animal Welfare Act against Dzrj810am. We actually tried to get custody of the puppy, but our current law doesn't allow us to get that puppy forcibly. So we have, we tried asking for the puppy, saying that we wanted to have the puppy checked, which is in fact true. We wanted to have the puppy checked by a veterinarian. The family admitted that the puppy has never seen a veterinarian in its life. And this is really reflective of the gross neglect of that family even after that incident. And even though they deny putting the puppy in the washing machine and in the dryer, we really wanted to have this puppy checked, whether it has suffered serious physical injuries, but we were not able to do that. I just really left a friendly advice to the family that should anything happen to the puppy at this point, it'll be worse for them. Actually, the father was explaining that Jerson just is fond of taking, in his words, exotic pictures. So it's because of this weird hobby of his that got him into trouble this time. And although he apologized, I told the father that it is against the law and his son must face up to the consequences of his actions. So that's the latest on the Dzrj810am, the puppy hanger case. It wasn't easy tracking him down, but Calamba, Laguna is not the small place that you think it is. But we were able to track him down in his high school, which he posted also on Facebook, the National High School of Laok. So there are people there. It's a small community. They were able to point him out to us. And yes, so we filed that case, and we hope we are hoping that in the next week or so we will receive word from the prosecutor's office in Calamba which prosecutor got this case raffled off to him. Anyway, when we asked, people were actually aware of the issue, and many of the Calamba natives were also outraged, and they were asking, was that person really from our province? Because they were really shocked at the crime. So at least the charges have been filed, and we hope that like the Candare case, this guy would also be prosecuted in court and given the punishment according to our existing laws. As a matter of an update for the shelter, for the paw shelter, I would like to greet happy birthday our gate boy Edmar. Kuya Edmar is one of the helpers at the animal shelter. He helps beautify the place, especially. And then if you go to our place, he's the one who opens the gate for you and asks for your ID. So happy birthday, Edmar. He even reminded me, well, before I went off to the radio, show. So I hope you're listening, and I hope the rest of the shelter volunteers have greeted you already. And some sad news this week also, we've had the passing on of two of our doctor dogs or therapy animals. Dr. Dzrj810am, our therapy dog who is a Doberman. He's the only therapy dog on our roster who is a Doberman. He passed away quite suddenly yesterday, and according to his mummy, Maui Reyes Drilon, it was quite sudden because Diesel wasn't sick at all. They just found him sprawled on the gate, on the garage, and it seems that Dr. Diesel died of a heart attack. He was to turn 10 years old in November, and this is a pretty long life for a large breed of dog. And we recall the many instances really that Diesel touched the hearts of many patients in the Philippine Children's Medical Center. We are often in this hospital bringing cheer to the children there. And actually, the first reaction upon seeing Diesel, the Doberman, is fear, because Dobermans have been typecasted as evil dogs in many films. And also, it doesn't help also that we have old people saying, our parents saying, stay away from large dogs, they bite. Small dogs don't bite, things like that. So, and given the color black, so Diesel was always met with children hesitating to go up to him. And this was often tragic when he would do the doctor dog visits with a smaller dog, because the kids would always choose to be with a smaller dog. But the kids who were brave enough to actually warm up to Diesel would soon find out that he was just one large teddy bear. He would just lean on your side as if, pet me. And Diesel didn't look like a Doberman at all, because thankfully his ears never got cropped. So it just remained floppy, and he's just one big teddy bear, and we are saddened by his passing. I'm sure the children at the Philippine Children's Medical Center will miss him. We will all miss him at PAWS. And another doctor dog also passed on, and is waiting for us at Rainbow Bridge. Just a few days ago, he passed on. His name is Dr. Gary. He's one of our Aspen, our Asong Pinoy doctor dogs. He was adopted from the shelter, from the PAW shelter. And the thing that I remember most about Dr. Gary was that he was so sickly during his stay at our animal shelter that he was almost really euthanized, because he was always getting sick and really not getting well. But when he got well, Annalyn Paraan, she adopted him, and immediately the transformation from a sickly dog to a very good-looking dog happened. And we tested him, and he is one of our very few Aspen or mongrel doctor dogs. And Gary went with us not to too many hospitals, because he was one of the newer doctor dogs, but he was always present in school visits as a professor dog as well. So Gary and Diesel, we will wait for us at Rainbow Bridge. We will miss you. I haven't mentioned it before, but a couple of months back, Dr. Bacchus, one of our doctor dogs as well, who's a schnauzer, he also passed on after I think it was a kidney problem, and Bacchus will also be sorely missed. Bacchus was one of the small handy dogs that could be lifted up onto the patient's beds. So I'm sure many of the children remember him as the stuffed toy that they would readily pose with. So these three dogs, Dr. Bacchus, Dr. Diesel, Dr. Gary, you will all be fondly remembered by us at PAWS, and all the children you brought joy to at the hospitals. These are cancer kids, most of them are. So God bless them. God bless their guardians. I hope they are comforted somehow by the knowledge that their dogs will never really be gone from all our hearts. Okay. Tonight we are discussing actually something that we have never discussed before. We have been on air for more than 2 months now, and we've always discussed terrestrial animals and their welfare, dogs, cats. And last week we had Pita join us to talk about the welfare of farm animals, many of whom are also terrestrial animals. But tonight's guest will talk about our feathered friends and caring for their welfare. Tonight it is actually my pleasure to have with us Ana Maria Gonzalez, who's the Vice President of the Wild Bird Club of the Philippines. And I will introduce her later after the messages. And we hope to have an invigorating discussion about birds, because I admit I have not been really that focused on bird welfare, even in all my years at PAWS. I think dogs and cats have always been right up there in terms of welfare for us, and then farm animals because of the industry cruelty and the intensity of the cruelty that's happening there. But we're also interested in our feathered friends, because I understand that they're also the number one victims also of not really being there anymore for our grandchildren to enjoy. So we will be discussing the wild birds, bird watching in general, and how to protect bird welfare in the Philippines, and how a small volunteer group is bravely doing this task for us here, and how you can help them. Anyway, as a matter of more updates from the shelter, we have had a good number of people donating cat food to the PAWS Animal Shelter, and for that we'd like to thank you. An appeal went out on our Facebook asking for people to donate cat food. We have approached all suppliers asking for donations of cat food, but they have replied that they have no cat food to spare to give us. So we have to turn to our individual donors for them to, if they have extra budget, maybe they could head on over. And we advertise this. SNR is putting out a particular brand of cat food that's very cheap. If anyone can point us to another cheap source of cat food which is cheaper than 799 pesos for 9 kilograms, then we would gladly put it up on our Facebook, because right now that's the only option for our donors who would want to buy one for the PAWS shelter cats. The 256 PAWS shelter cats at the moment consume 22 kilograms a day, and we are in desperate need of people who will donate at least a bag of cat food. If it's 9 kilograms, that means that's half of their day's needs that you will be giving to us. If it's a 22 kilogram bag, then that's 1 day's thing for our shelter cats, who most of the time have to eat dog food in order to make to get by, because we really are having difficulty with our cat food source. So again, thank you to those who dropped off. We put out that alert on Saturday, and just this morning, I think 2 or 3 people have already dropped off a total of 20 bags of 9 kilogram cat food donations. So thank you for that. The Animal Chronicles will be right back after this break.